Now.
Oh, looks like we lost Pari.
Yes.
Well, for some reason I was kicked out. So hello everyone, and thank you for joining us in another meeting of Global Technopolitics Forum Research Group on June 20. So we are a small group. Let's just start. Okay, let's just start. The good news is we published our first, not first, but among this group of research, the first one, Lebanon collapse. So that's now on our website, and we're looking forward to publish few other white papers that are almost ready, thanks to Maura. So let's start with Dan. Dan, would you like to talk about your project?
Yeah, sorry, I apologize. I'm currently at work, but I've gone over my white paper with Professor Godinez, and I think it's pretty ready to go, unless there's any follow-up comments on it.
All right. Okay, Greg,
No, I thought
any
it was
comment?
good and ready to go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought it was in good shape and basically ready to go.
Fantastic. Maura, any comments?
Yeah, Dan convinced me the one thing I was holding it up for a table that I loved. He convinced me that he made perfect sense to take it out. And so, yes, I think it's ready to go and forms a really good triad with what he's done before and what Jennifer is talking about in her paper. So I think it's really going to round out what we have on the technical side and start as a really good, strong basis. So yeah, I think it's ready to go. It's just a question of your guys looking at it and see if there's anything else in the formatting, and then Pari, you do your magic to make it the GTPF style and on the right kind of paperwork, et cetera, and fix anything, you know, that you think needs a production value. But I think it's in good shape.
Thank you. So then in this case, I think we should have a meeting together. So I will show you some of the styling methods, and maybe you could finish up that one and then I will look at it. So I will reach out to you. Maybe we can meet up this week virtually and discuss it further. So next, Jennifer.
So I saw that you and Greg both made comments on the paper. And I think it's also pretty ready to go. Me and Maura worked on it rather extensively, and yeah, just let me know how I can go about citing and all of that.
Okay, I'm gonna reach out to you again because we need to do some styling on it before we publish it. So I will reach out to you and we will go through it together and sort it out. Greg, any comments?
No, I likewise, I was in good shape. Well done.
Thank you.
Maura?
Yeah, I didn't see any of the newest comments, but yeah, Jennifer has worked long and hard to make this really tight arguments that are really focused on the specific changing norms that she's talking about. And I think, you know, we've got really good examples, and then she updated it with the most recent material from the Putin-Biden conference. In fact, it kind of shows us that we didn't expect Putin to do an about face, and we didn't get one.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, no, I think it's in again good shape. A few things on the footnotes that, you know, she's done a little bit differently that you guys can clean up. But yeah, it's in substantively. I think it's really, again, taking that with what we've got with the previous stuff Dan's done on the Colonial Pipeline and what you guys have done on data, and then Dan's ICS paper. We have a really nice cluster now of building blocks.
Yeah, and I think both of them going to be published this week. So we will finalize this and publish. And it's a good thing that, you know, it's very timely at the same time, because it's the topic that everybody is discussing right now. So well done, both of you, Daniel and Jennifer.
Yes.
So next one is Dariush here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
Darius, do you want to talk about your work?
Yeah, so like was said already, I had a meeting with Haley earlier this week. I'm not really sure. I feel like my degree of involvement in the mapping part, I'm gonna like help however I can, but like obviously the technical things I can't. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some other project to start now.
Oh, Darius, you're going to be super busy on data. You're not getting away from this one.
Okay.
Kelly, because Haley knows how to put it in visual and you know how to find the data. So you're going to, trust me, you're going to be busy for a while. So you have time to think about a new project as well, but it's a lot for you to do.
Okay.
You are too valuable in your knowledge on the data to Haley for you to walk away from this one just yet.
Okay, yeah, then I'll definitely help as much as I can. As far as the timeline and stuff goes, I remember her saying that it was thought that this will all be done by next or by fall.
Mhm.
So that sounds good. And yeah, I'll continue to be involved in it because I mean I really I think it's all gonna turn out really well. And hopefully we can get a grant for it, get some money.
Yeah, Darius, it's a very interesting project. There are other corridors opening up, so it's very good to have your eye on the topic, on the subject, and also the role of private sector. So if you want to think about new project while you're involved in it and focus on it, you can start to think about the role of private sector in this. Right now, China is cracking down on its own private sector.
Right.
So see how this whole thing is going to play out there. So I think for me, role of private sector would be quite interesting in this whole geopolitical scene. But focus should be on this white paper and mapping out and helping Haley. But back of your mind, if you want to think about something, that's the direction I would take. And I will keep an eye on other corridors that are opening up. Greg?
I think that's exactly right. Both the other corridors and a particular focus on the private sector, because we know that's going to be more and more critical.
Maura?
Again, I'm happy to sit down with the both of you now that you've talked, because once Haley starts talking, I think you'll see Haley knows what she needs, but you know the data and you will know how to help her find it. And so I really think you guys are probably going to be tired of each other in a couple of months by the time this is done. But I think there's lots for you to be busy with, Darius, as you look at how you want to expand. But you just have so much knowledge on where to find the data in the homework that you did before you wrote this paper that I think you're going to be indispensable to Haley's project. And it won't be Haley's project, it will be a team project.
So
Okay.
these are Maura. These are going to be two different projects, or that project going to be embedded in Darius' white paper?
Well, why don't we let Haley talk about her vision a little bit? I mean, I would publish Darius's white paper to stand as it is, and then publish the mapping piece as phase 2. But Haley, I leave it to you guys to sort of see what your guys' vision is. Pari, over to you to continue to ask the questions.
Okay, Haley.
Yes, so I was able to meet with both Mara and Danish, and it was very helpful just understanding the project's vision, understanding like the timeline. I've also started looking into data. I'm a little held up right now, mostly because USC, I'm having trouble with my VM hardware, which is how I access ArcGIS, but ideally that will be solved by next week. So hopefully products will start coming out. I'm starting with the basic geography and working my way into the industry.
And Haley, what is your timeline?
My timeline, I think ideally have it done going into fall semester. I can see that happening very reasonably. So hopefully, but yes.
Okay, so in this case, I think Maura is right. Probably we will publish the first part and then we publish the second. So it's going to be 2 parts kind of project. Do you agree, Greg?
Yeah, makes sense. Yep.
Okay,
Hey,
so
just to comment on that, what would probably be most helpful, Haley and I made an Excel spreadsheet of all the different kinds of data that she and Dariush need to pull together to answer the questions about a digital corridor. And it would, I think, be very helpful for Pari and Greg for you to look at that and to brainstorm with them, because there are so many factors that I wouldn't think of, but that you would think of from your different viewpoints. So I would suggest, I mean, Haley, we have like a page now of categories of data and things that you are going to look at, but I don't know if you guys have had an opportunity to look at that Excel spreadsheet. I certainly found, Haley, in our meeting, we came up with stuff that I hadn't thought of when you started asking questions, and I'm sure there are other categories, particularly Pari, with your focus on different kinds of issues with the technology and the private sector piece, and Greg, with your focus on that and also the geopolitical piece. You guys, at the beginning, if there are more data categories that you can help them envision what might be mappable. I mean, for example, we were like, okay, can you map spectrum and regulations, which will matter? And so Haley can tell us whether or not something is mappable if we can tell her that we want to track it. So I highly recommend another sort of brainstorm time to look at the list of stuff we want to track to see at the beginning, because then, Dariush, you're going to be digging for laws in every country on spectra. If we can map how spectra is sold, because you will recall from our discussion with Paul that how spectrum is sold and controlled in each country will influence how a digital corridor emerges. And there are so many factors that I may not have thought of that it would be really helpful for, I think, everyone to put their heads together.
And I think it will be very informative and interesting project to do it. So that would be good for both of you, Haley and Dariush, to sort it out. So yeah, Greg, any comments?
No, it sounds like the right track. Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So my suggestion is, Dariush, I will go through your paper and I will come back to you in terms of publishing it. And meanwhile, you have a meeting with Haley, you guys continue, and we will look at the spreadsheet. Where is it? Because I haven't seen it, Maura.
Haley, you have the spreadsheet?
Yeah, it's in the digital corridor folder, and then there's like a folder under that, which is labeled Haley, basically, or mapping. Okay. And then my plan is keep all the mapping and data use in there.
All right, I will check it because I haven't seen it. Maybe, okay, I will check. If there was a problem, I contact you. Now,
and I also asked Haley, even though she may not be writing weekly reports the same way other people have, I suggested, and Dariush, you and I didn't have this conversation yet, but I suggested that you guys both be writing a weekly report that talks about which data are we working on this week. So it may not be as much of it may be more a work in progress rather than a sort of something to read that provides insights on the kinds of things you've run in the past. But obviously all the data sets that you find and where you find them, and then the comparison of the data sets to meld them, it'll be a little bit of a different report, but there's no reason that you two cannot put out a combined weekly report or individual weekly reports that work together so that folks can see what your work progress is, even if it's not the traditional kind of research report that we've done in the past.
And it could be very short. It could be one paragraph. You don't need to elaborate, but as long as we understand what you're doing, because that gives us insight and help us to give you feedback. So yeah, Maura, thank you very much. That's very thoughtful of you. So yeah, the next project is actually Leo's and Echo. They're not here, but they have been, I think they had a report this week. I haven't read it. Maura, did you have a chance to look at it?
No.
And are you continuing with 5G projects? Are you going to help them to finish it up?
Well, I guess it's time for me to say a little something about me. The answer is no, I had not planned to continue to be involved with their project.
Oh. Okay, so is there anything anyone wants to discuss at this point? No, so I think floor goes to Maura.
Yeah, I need to announce to, I mean, tiny little group, and these are the folks, plus we lost Dan, who I've really worked with. I will be withdrawing from the position that I've been doing. I have had some complicated medical news that I will need to focus on for the next couple of months. And so I just have to do that before anything else, which is part of the reason that I made such a push with everybody to get done this week, so that we could sort of walk away from it. I would love to, see how all this stuff turns out, but unfortunately, it's going to be a couple of months before I sort of know where my personal situation is. And so I just want to say to you guys, particularly to Greg and Pari, but also Jennifer and Dariush and Haley, we haven't had that much opportunity to work yet. And certainly those who are not here, Dan and some others, I've had the opportunity to work with extensively. Thank you so much for your time and effort and the work that you've put in. I will check on the website to see what's getting published and how it's going, but I will not be able to be a part of your effort moving forward. So this is kind of my swan song for the moment. So thanks, everybody.
Well, we wish you all the best, and we'll be thinking about you for sure.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if you need things, if you need quick advice or in terms of students follow on recommendations or things to talk, reach out to me after the 15th of August, by which time I hope to have better insight into what's going on. And then we'll take it from there. But I do wish everyone the very best.
Well, thank you very much, Maura. It was terrific to have you. And we all are very sorry to see you go, but I am hoping that it's going to be a short departure. We wish you a speedy recovery. And again, you're going to receive emails from me. You can get out of it easily.
I noticed even today you were like, so are you going to follow up on this? And I'm like, I just can't right now.
Not follow up, just emails to inform you what is going on. And as you know, the door is open, even if you haven't made decision. Whenever you felt like it, you can just jump to the meetings. You always have the invitation arrive into your mailbox. So no follow up in terms of no work. We don't want to give you work. We want you to focus on whatever is priority right now, but we hope to see you back very soon, and we wish you a very, very speedy recovery, and all the best.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and we see you tomorrow. And I will be in touch with Dan and Jennifer and Leo and Dariush and Haley. So we will be talking and sorting out things. Papers are going to be published soon. Take care. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.